If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And a great Friday afternoon to all of you. I'm looking at my Twitter live as we speak. My ex in Dalton, Blankenship says, quote, socialism is great until they want my money to finance it. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us live this hour, 800-848-9222. Folks, do you know anybody that wants to go to Portland, Oregon? I don't. Not a bad state, not a bad city, or it used to not be a bad city. But look to Portland, Oregon. That's New York City, believe it or not, in just a few short years. Under Mayor Mamdani, that is New York City. So just imagine the 1-2 punch of Mamdani followed by AOC. Dare I say Senator AOC, Senator Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And while we're here, I'm going to expose a little media game, one of the games that we in the media play right here, right now. 2 + 2 = 4, right? Now follow me here, folks. Which networks, think about this, which TV networks got the two general election debates in the race for mayor? The answer happens to be New York 1 and WNBC TV, Channel 4. WNBC in New York went first. So which debate gave Mamdani a complete pass? The answer happens to be NBC. 2 + 2 = 4. Remember, I have worked with many of these reporters that are now calling themselves debate moderators and so on. I know their personal politics. I'm going to leave it alone at that because I don't want to offend any of them. And, you know, we know each other, but I know what time it is. That's what I'm trying to say. So what a coincidence. What a coincidence. NBC gives Mamdani a complete pass during the debate. And what a coincidence. NBC just happened to get the first interview this week with the incoming mayor. What a coincidence. And when Mamdani goes to a daycare center, you get warm and fuzzy stories to come out of that. So Mamdani, the story that came from WNBC TV, just recently about Mamdani at a daycare center. He's a man of the people reading to the children. And they went so far as to even make sure a Muslim kid got into the shot with the incoming mayor.
What's your name? Alani. Nice to meet you. Zoran.
You know that he's the next mayor of New York?
How? He helped us.
15, 16.
He got the paper, he got a marker, and he write the numbers for us, and he showed us.
And then it starts to follow along. 21, okay, what's next? Okay, what's that? Okay. We spoke with childcare providers here to learn about the incredible work that they do each and every day and how difficult our city has made it for them to do that kind of work. And we know that while families with young children comprise about 14% of this city's population, they comprise about 30% of the set of New Yorkers who are leaving the city. And that's because after housing, childcare is the #1 cost in so many New Yorkers' lives.
Oh, Mamdani, such a man of the people fighting for the children in daycare. But already he's making excuses on why he can't deliver on his agenda. Mamdani's agenda is dead on arrival, folks. Remember I told you that. So Mayor Adams right now is traveling to Israel. And Mamdani says that Adams is derailing his affordable housing agenda. So in other words, he's playing the oldest game in the book, point to your predecessor and blame your predecessor. Only, Mamdani, you haven't even taken office yet, and already you're blaming Adams for the ills of the world. It's not going to fly. You're a straight con. And people are going to see through it on day one. Yes, you've got certain reporters in your pocket already. We all know, you and I know, Mamdani, who they are. They'll remain nameless. You have those reporters in your pocket to do these puff pieces on you going to a daycare center. But eventually, you're going to have to answer some real questions. And so the mayors, they've already hit a rough patch in their transition. They have not met each other. The transition teams have met once. Adams and Mamdani have not met each other just yet. And so what Mamdani is talking about is the Elizabeth Street Garden. So Adams back previously had agreed to turn the Elizabeth Street Garden into affordable housing, right? But he pivoted in June, designating the garden as city parkland, which will make it much harder to ever develop housing in its place. And already, Mamdani is whining like a baby.
It is no surprise that Mayor Adams is using his final weeks and months to cement a legacy of dysfunction and inconsistency.
If I were the incoming mayor and looking at the victories we had around housing, around public safety, around transportation, around economic recovery, around taking care of our young people, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it, try to use it.
So there you have Mayor Adams basically slapping Mamdani back, telling them grow up. But folks, I just want you to understand this clearly. Already, Mamdani is looking for scapegoats. He can't deliver on squat. He sold you a bill of goods, and now the bill is due to be paid, and he's got 5 cents in his account. Mommy and daddy that put that silver spoon in his mouth, they can't write the check for this one. The only thing daddy can do is continue to push anti-Semitism and for Mamdani to try and act like it doesn't exist. Straight fraud. And he'll be exposed. You'll see what's going to happen. So in the bizarre land, right, I said cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That means we have to be talking about AOC, another socialist. AOC, we dealt with this in the Midnight program, comes forward. And AOC says that Trump supporters are pulling her aside and stating that they want to join the democratic socialism. No, you don't have to fix your radio. You don't have to fix your app. I said what I said. AOC says that Trump supporters are pulling her aside and stating they want to join the Democrat socialism, this horrible experiment that's going to fail terribly. Well, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, never at a loss of words, had this to say.
Absolutely not. In fact, I'd like to see some of the people who actually said that to AOC and check their ballots and see if they actually voted for President Trump, because I can assure you MAGA Republicans oppose everything that AOC and the modern day Communist Democrat Party stands for. Mass migration and open borders like we saw under the Biden administration. Men and women's sports is something MAGA Republicans and frankly the whole country rejects. It's a 90-10 issue. Taxing people to death and taking their money and giving the majority of your income back to the government. That's a horrible idea that has not worked for thousands of years. MAGA Republicans know it, and that's why they overwhelmingly voted to reelect President Trump. And a Democrat that you had in your monologue actually was right about one thing. I don't know his name, but I give him credit for his statement where he said that the Republican Party under President Trump is the party of the working man and woman. And because of President Trump's pro-growth, America First policies, he has spoken directly to the hearts of the forgotten men and women across this country. And that's who the Republican Party is today, thanks to him.
Well, Newsom.
So there you have it there, folks. All I could say to AOC's declaration is we, look into the sky. I'm AOC. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Poor Charles Schumer. We're going to all of your telephone calls in just a second on this Friday. Poor Schumer. So one of the members of Congress that I love happens to be Tim Burchett of Tennessee. And he is mocking the crap, if you will, out of Schumer, who appears to be on life support.
Was doing this just for political gain. He's worried about AOC. I don't know what it is about these men up here that are afraid of strong women. My mama was a strong woman. I'm married to a very strong woman. My chief of staff in Knoxville and here in Washington, D.C. are strong women. And AOC, I think, will take him on. I think I talked to her tonight. And she'll announce tomorrow. If she announced tomorrow, she'd raise $10 million over the weekend. They'd be throwing money at her as fast. It should be record amounts because people are sick of Chuck Schumer and sick of him.
When you talked to her tonight you talked about running, what did she say?
She smiled and said, "Thank you, Burchett." I mean, she's my friendly neighborhood Marxist. I realize she's about as far left as I am right, but she actually believes that garbage, and that's why I can actually. She and I are friends. I don't agree with her on anything. When she has death threats, I pray for her safety, and I've defended her against a physical altercation once before, and so look, I'm from Tennessee. We respect and we're crazy about ladies, and I love them in leadership. I just don't agree with her politically.
All right, folks, on this Friday, let's start with your telephone calls. Joe, Mount Sinai, New York, it says here, line 4. What's on your mind, Joe?
Yes, Mondami, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but that night of the election where he's saying about the immigrants, does he think that we're all stupid here? That people
wait, Joe, you asked a rhetorical question. You said, does he think we're all stupid? What do you think the answer to that is?
Yes.
Of course he thinks we're darn stupid. He pulled the wool over our eyes in a big way. Continue.
He's going to find out, and the people that voted for him are going to find out, and no pun intended, he's not even a pimple on an elephant's ass. He's going to be the worst thing. He's going to make Abe Bean look like John Wayne.
That's good, man. You're using good lines there, Joe. And I got to pick a bone with you now. I should have thought of that line. That's a great line. What was it? You said a pimple. What was that?
A pimple on an elephant's ass.
Okay. Mom Donnie. Hey, Joe, thank you for the great call on this Friday. Folks, time for a break. We see all your calls coming in. We're going to get to them. We're going to get in as many calls as possible. I call this Free Fridays. You can talk about these issues or anything that's on your mind. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I am looking at my Twitter at my ex, and the lovely Debbie Lobato says, at Dominic TV, Dominic, it sounds like AOC went back behind the bar and is starting to get high on her own supply if she thinks Republicans want to join the left-wing nut jobs and the Democrat Socialist Party. By the way, I have a bridge to sell you. Thank you, Debbie. Line 3, Gracie in Rockland County. I believe Gracie's still in California. Cali. What's on your mind on this Friday, Gracie?
I'm angry, very angry. The Republican Party of New York State, they're still in the Rockefeller mode. They're not MAGA like me. They better get their gear and shift, in the right shift, because we're going to maybe, what's her name might be reelected again, and AOC can be elected. So they just better get it in order get one candidate. We don't need two candidates against Hochul. Get one candidate and start now getting Elise elected.
Stefanik?
Yes, elected.
So Gracie, tell me about the world with Mayor Mamdani and Senator AOC cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Tell me the type of state New York would be.
It would be a disaster. Because I just finished reading a book about Chile and about how they went to socialism and what a disaster it was. And there's going to be like in Russia, nothing on the shelves. Everything is going to be just terrible. And then at least in Russia, they kept the people from killing the other people, whereas here they're not going to support the police. So not only will we die from no food, we'll be dead from being mugged. That's my picture of things.
Fair enough, Gracie. Thank you for the wonderful call. Hey, before you go, are you doing anything good with hubby, with your kids? What do you do in California?
Oh, well, I'll tell you the truth. I play mahjong twice a week with my California friends. They're lovely. We don't talk politics, of course. I have a good time. I have my son and 3 of the grandchildren home, whereas one is second year of college. So I'm having a good time. But I can't. I'm coming home after Thanksgiving, but New York is better. I don't know. The people here are so dumb. I know they're dumb in New York, but here I'm socializing with more dumb people. Whereas in New York, you know the thing what AOC said about Magna. Magna people, we're getting more Magna with Trump. The ones who are wishy-washy, maybe it's her baloney, but we're like crazy people. I'm sorry, I'll admit it. We're going to put on the, I don't know, figuratively. Never mind what we're going to do.
I got you, Gracie. Thank you for the call. Have a wonderful weekend. Let's go to line 4, Lou in Edison, New Jersey. Lou, what's on your mind?
Hi, I heard Mamdani's new mantra. It goes like this. My fellow New Yorkers, ask not what you can do for your city, ask what the Democrat socialists can make others do for you.
It's good. I don't like, Lou, when people try and come up with their own slogans, but yours was decent. I'll give it to you because that's Mamdani to the T. Thank you for the call, Lou. Great call. I'll give you credit. It was pretty good. Lou. Pretty good on a Friday. We're taking your live calls, 800-848-9222. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And in just a moment, I'm going to switch gears as we continue with your calls. But first, let me go to Eric, line 2 in Mahwah, New Jersey. Eric, what's on your mind?
What's up, brother? First of all, people don't know about socialism. You know, there's an island 90 miles south of Florida, okay? Look how well that's doing, you know. Main thing I want to talk to you about was the diabetes. I got on Mounjaro in April of this year. And I'm 73, and I lost 28 pounds. I got into my Army clothes from 1973, 74. I couldn't believe it. I feel great. I'm blind in one eye, which had nothing to do with that because I go to NYU from time to time for a checkup once a month. But that stuff does help. If you're diabetic and your A1C is above 5, talk to the doctor. Let them prescribe the Mounjaro for you, and they'll help you out. It curbs your appetite. You lose the weight.
Well, hey, Eric, you sound like a live commercial for Mounjaro. But to answer your question, I'm on Mounjaro. I've been on Mounjaro for over a year, I think I'd say, by my endocrinologist. There are side effects of every drug. For a diabetic, the name of the game is to lose weight, but that's not the only issue is to control your A1C, as you said. So I mean, to be honest with you, and this is too much information, but I'm on Mounjaro plus metformin. And another pill. So, It is what it is. So, but it's working for you. I take it, correct?
Did your A1C come down? Are you losing weight?
Yes, I've lost substantial weight and my A1C, but you didn't answer my question. My question was, is it working for you? You sound like a salesman for Monjaro. You're really pushing it.
It is. I'm not a salesman.
So it's working for you. It's working for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's excellent. It's also working for my wife. She's a nurse, and through the doctors, she works from home. So, she has patients she talks to on the phone.
Well, wait. Is your wife diabetic, or is she just doing this to lose weight?
No, she's a diabetic.
Oh,
Father
she's
was
diabetic. Okay.
Insulin. My aunt was a diabetic. My parents weren't. From what I understand now, one of the side effects, a good side effects of Manjaro, it helps to curtail
Again, you're plugging the hell out of Manjaro. You sound like a salesman, but you're not talking about any of the negative things like upset stomach or something like that. Hey, I'm just curious, Eric, before I move on. Do you ever experience the numbness at the bottom of your feet? No. Okay, well, that's a good thing. So I'm glad it's working out for you. Eric, thank you for the call. You really should give Manjaro a call. You'd be a great salesman for them. We see your other calls. I'm going to get to it in a second. But, crime is so bad. President Trump is doing a great job. And I don't understand the argument of don't send in the National Guard. I get it. It's a standard knee-jerk Democrat press response number one. Oh, American troops should not be on American land and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have to come up with an unorthodox solution to a problem. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Case in point, Oakland, California. I don't know if you folks are aware of this, but one of the big shows on Netflix is Last Chance U. And it's for football players, college football players that were standout. They went to Division I schools. For one reason, it didn't work out, one reason or another. Drugs, attitude, women, whatever. And they ended up at these small colleges, and it's their last chance at trying to make it back to the big-time football programs and the NFL. Well, in Oakland, a suspect has been arrested in the shooting of one of the football coaches on the program. Now, remember, football coaches are important to me. Coach Bill in the Bronx, a police officer who happened to be white, ended up being a father figure to myself and about 70 other black boys that didn't have fathers growing up in the Bronx. This is before we had this phenomenon with the name of it of kids that are growing up in a one-parent household, okay? It just seems like it was normal for me in the Bronx and for the rest of us. Well, a coach, one of the coaches on Last Chance U on Netflix, was shot on campus, on his college campus. And he remains in critical condition. And the coach's name is John Beam, and a suspect has been arrested. Few other details are available, but this is the second shooting in 2 days at a school in Oakland. So now, let's go to Memphis, Tennessee. I've been to Memphis. And as I said before, I would not branch out from, I had no desire. I'm not going to be a phony. Anywhere I go, my wife, she always likes to go see the hood. She was a history major, and it leads to an argument because I'm like, I'm not going to the hood and you're not going to the hood. I want to see what the black community looks like. Good luck with that. I'm not interested. I'll stay right here in the comfort of this nice hotel in this nice community with plenty of police protection around us. But so we go to Chicago, I'm assigned to cover the conventions. She wants to go to Cabrini Green. This is before they tore it down. Just the day before my wife arrived in Chicago, a 12-year-old girl at Cabrini Green, because I went there as part of an assignment with reporters, offered me oral sex for $5 at Cabrini Green. Okay? And this is the type of stuff that my wife wants to see, the community. I guess different strokes for different folks, right? So let's go to Memphis, Tennessee. I want you to listen to this. I've been trying to tell this story all week long. It's important. I see all of your calls. I see Greg and Vernon is telling me to get off of metformin. It's a dangerous drug. We'll get to that in a minute. But I want to focus on this. This is Braylon Bry, him and his mother in a podcast. and they happen to be African American. And if you notice, the black folks in Memphis, Tennessee, they have embraced the National Guard coming there. Why would you be against cleaning up your own community? Why would you want your community to stay the way it is with rampant crime? Who in their right mind would want something like that? So I'm not going to play the full clip, but I want you to listen to this, that this young man, pretty dangerous community, and he really couldn't go outside to play or do anything else. And now he and his mother, they're seeing a difference in Memphis, Tennessee because of the National Guard.
What was life in Memphis like before the National Guard?
Well, it's been pretty dangerous. I couldn't really go outside or play. And generally, whenever I turned on the news, there's been lots of reports of shootings in my area. So,
yeah, that's very scary. I can't imagine what that's like. And Braylon, what's it like now that the National Guard's there?
Well, it's been pretty peaceful now. I just kind of made it a thing for me to go outside and also practice my trumpet. And I feel like the crime rate has just slowed down a little bit more.
The trumpet. Delicia, you have a seriously impressive son playing the trumpet. That is amazing. Delicia, what's it like from your perspective? I'm a mom, and I can't imagine if my little kids couldn't go out and play.
You know, it's been truly a wonderful experience. It's been well over a month now. And like I said, it's been a thing for me and my children to go outside and play. I've had tea on my porch, which again wasn't something that I could do at first. And we're just grateful for that, just to be able, to have just that moment of peace. It's been great. And, just being able to do new things and, it's like I said, overall, it's just been a wonderful experience.
That's great. And Braylon, have you gotten to meet any of the National Guardsmen or women?
Well, I've actually met some at my school for Career Day.
Wow, were they nice?
Yeah, they were nice. They told us everything that happens at the National Guard.
Okay. And I understand Team Trump has reposted your video. And, Delicia, I just want to know, if you were ever invited to go to the White House, would you go to the White House with Braylon if that opportunity ever came?
We would absolutely love the opportunity. We would love that. He's been the most actionable president that we've had in our time. And just for, my son, because this was something that he chose to want to do and give his experience on, he would love that. We would love that, actually.
Braylon, what would you say to President Trump if you ever saw him?
Well, I just wanted to give my thanks to him for sending the National Guard here, because, as I stated before, I feel like the crime rate has really slowed down. So I just wanted to give my thanks to him.
Yeah. Braylon, you are amazing. And Delicia, I hope one of my kids can play the trumpet one day. You're a great mom, and you guys are doing a lot of good. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. He's absolutely great, a super smart kid, and he's an excellent trumpet player, a great trumpet player. So yes, he's been able to utilize his time now to become better, and he's doing that outside, and the neighbors are actually loving it. We just got a text the other day to tell them to keep going, so our neighbors are hearing it. It's just been a really happy community as of late.
Delicia, you are a fantastic mother. I can sense that. And Braylon, you are so smart. Thank you both for being here. It's really an honor to have you.
Thank you so much.
Get off that Democrat plantation. Oh, the National Guard. We can't have the National Guard here. Well, why can't you? Well, we can't have the National Guard because the Congresswoman in Texas, Jasmine Crockett, told us it's racist to have the National Guard here. But many of these soldiers are black or Latino. No, but it's still racist because they came from Trump, the devil. They came from the devil. Folks, get off the plantation. Did you hear what that mother and her son just said? She can have tea. A black woman sitting on her porch having tea. Don't you want to do the things that all other Americans do? Or do you want to live a life in the ghetto for the rest of your years? Which one do you want? If you keep listening to these Democrats selling you nothing but game to keep you on the plantation, you will never have anything. And listening to that young man, he reminds me of myself when I was his age, because, and this is the first time I've said this, I was caught up as a child in the family court system. a battle between my grandmother, who I wanted to be with, and my mother, who wanted custody of me back. And the judge, I don't have time to get into the full story, but the judge pulled me into his private chamber. I was scared to death, and he asked me a million questions, just me and him. This is at the Bronx courthouse, the family courthouse. And the judge in his ruling, I kid you not, folks, where the judge said full custody went to my grandmother of me, the judge said that I did not have to even visit my mother if I didn't want to, and I didn't want to. And the judge wrote in his ruling, this kid will go on to great things. Now, how a family court judge was able to interview me at, maybe between 10 and 12, 10 and 11, and say this kid will go on to great things, I will never know. It's one of the things that blows my mind, that this judge predicted enormous success for me as from a little kid. Let's go back to your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Let's go to John, line 3, Floral Park. John, what's on your mind on this Friday?
Hey, Dominic, how you doing? I just wanted to say, when Gracie talked about things are going to turn into Russia, that's not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be that the state and the federal government are going to stop some of the programs that Mandani is going to want to do, and he's just going to turn around and say that I wanted to implement these things, but the state and the federal government has stopped me, and it's going to end up causing a greater divide. And as far as what AOC has said about people from MAGA on her side and saying, I really like what you're doing, nothing intelligent has ever left her lips before. Why are people starting to believe her now? Quickly, as far as National Guard, they don't arrest people. They just free up the police to do their job. But as long as the judges and the ADAs don't do their job, that's where the trouble is.
Fair enough, John. Thank you for the great call. Let's go to Greg, line 2, Vernon, New Jersey. Greg, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to give out advice, but I do have friends that have taken metformin, and they say that they have to take it for the rest of their lives. There are other diabetic drugs. I lost 40 pounds, and I was on something. I don't even remember what it was, but that got rid of my diabetes. So if you can lose weight.
Well, I have noticed that because I was on insulin as well, besides Mounjaro, and now I'm no longer on insulin. It is what it is, Greg. Thank you for the great advice. It is what it is, folks. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV or radio, but I do have to be happy. I'm under enormous stress all the time. The bottom line, folks, the ratings are sky high, and it's my job to keep them there. And if they're not there, if they go down tremendously, it's bye-bye, Dominic. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. And now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day, and I really shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do it because you don't give idiots any ammunition. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. I want to give you a taste of my world. 99.9% of the comments are positive. Then you have these complete, you know what? Some fool by the name of William JC just posted on my Twitter. He wants to use my platform to say this. There's a reason why he has to hustle for 2 shifts. He's talking about me. He's not very smart. Katz uses him as the DEI hire. Okay, so I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree. Mr. William, and from one of the best communication schools in the country. Mr. William JC, how many degrees do you have? DEI hire. Well, the show coming up right after me also happens to be hosted by a black man. Point 2. Point 3. I'm hustling two shifts. First of all, if you knew anything about me or about this company, nobody works harder than John or Margot Catsimatidis. That's why I do my best at 2 shifts. That's exactly why. Because they set an example for all of us. They don't have anybody do anything that they're not willing to do. and they're billionaires, okay? Point 3, you don't know, fool, clown, idiot, what they have in store for my career. You don't know what's coming. I have a good idea, but you don't, and it's not public yet. So what are you going to say then? Then what are you going to say? Is it because I'm black that you got to find some outrageous, stupid comment to make? Or are you just I wish I could say what I want to say, but I can't. One of the first things I was taught in this business, Dominic, don't respond to those fools on social media, because the only thing that the papers are going to pick up is you. They're not going to care about the idiot and the idiot comment that they made. They're going to focus on how you responded to it. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Enough oxygen for this fool. Let's go to Michelle, line 3, Connecticut. Michelle, what's on your mind?
Hi, how are you? I just want to comment again about the mother and the son in Memphis, and I'm just so happy and pleased that they see the results that Trump is doing for them, and I just hope that the Republican Party will take these wins and have like maybe town halls with these people that they're affecting their lives in a positive way.
Absolutely, Michelle. You listen to the Democrats. This is the game they run to black people. Trump is the devil, the absolute devil. He hates you. He hates your guts. How many black people are in his administration? No. That's not the issue. The issue is he's taking this community where black gangbangers, black drug dealers made it so a mother and son could not even go outside or sit on the porch. And now because of Trump, they have a life. That is the bottom line. Let's go here to Rhonda, New Jersey, line 2. Rhonda, what's on your mind?
Yes, Dominic, you're terrific, and I wouldn't listen to anybody who says anything negative. A Brooklyn super was murdered yesterday over stolen packages, and he left behind 3 small children. What would Mamdani do? Would he have a heart-to-heart talk with these murderers? People are going to be thrown off the subway tracks. New York is going to go downhill, and Mamdani and his cronies are living in la-la land. So what can be done to take back New York City with the NYPD? Well,
they're the greatest police force in the country. Greatest police force in the country. So hopefully this Mamdani will get out of the way and let them do their jobs. Rhonda, thank you for the great call. DMS just posted here on my Twitter, or referring to this fool, maybe his ratings, and thank you, DMS, my ratings are through the roof. They don't know why the Catsimatidis have me in it. They don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, maybe his ratings. Management uses him to lift typically slower time frames. And that's it, DMS. I didn't want to say it. And then she goes on to say, Willie, such anger and hate will eat away at you. Then she says, hopefully. Let the church say amen. Let's go to Judith in Brooklyn. Judith, you got 20 seconds. That's all I got. Go ahead.
Listen, you stupid fool, Willie whatever, with JC whatever. I want to see you come and do one radio show. Just
of course.
one.
They couldn't do one. They couldn't do one. All they do is sit. Hey, Mom, did you make my breakfast or my dinner yet? Sweetie, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Stay in the basement and keep saying online. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. I'll be back Sunday night, 11 p.m. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.